What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Now, look, the thing that I'm hearing the most from you guys in the comments, in my inbox, on the discovery calls, is that you don't own a property. And you think that you need to own the property to actually get into Airbnb. But I'm here to let you know I've been doing Airbnb since 2018, and I do not own not one of the many properties that I have listed on Airbnb. Now, you have to understand this. This is the biggest misconception, is I don't have enough money and I don't own a property. Today, I'm gonna show you a simple trick and how you can get into Airbnb without owning a single property, and it's called Airbnb arbitrage, okay? Airbnb arbitrage, write it down, look it up, go on Google, do your homework, do your due diligence. But today, I'm gonna show you exactly how I have multiple Airbnbs and how I don't own any one of them, okay? Let's jump into the video. I'll see you on the inside. All right, let's get into it, guys. Remember, we are doing what's called Airbnb arbitrage, which is simply put you using a property that you do not own, okay? You don't have to own it. You don't have to open a mortgage. You don't have to own the apartment. All you have to do is be able to rent the property from the owner. Make sure you're telling them the truth. Do not lie. Do not fabricate. Do not stretch the truth. Tell them exactly what it is that you're doing. Let them know up front. Make sure they're okay with it, because the last thing you want is to get started and then the owner shuts you down, okay? I don't care what they're telling you on YouTube. I don't care what your guru is telling you. Tell people the truth. Tell them the truth, okay? But let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing we're going to be doing, we're going to use a site called Zillow.com, okay? Zillow.com, it's free. It costs you absolutely nothing to use it, okay? So let's just find us an area. Let's go Dallas, Texas, okay? We're going to use Dallas, Texas. Again, you know I love using Houston, but we're going to use Dallas today. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go for rent. We're going to use whatever your budget is for renting. Remember, at the end of the day, you are responsible for the rent. Understand that. You are responsible. So let's just say if your budget, you're able to spend $1,500 a month. And with your $1,500, you want a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, you want 2.5, you want a 2-2. Let's say we want a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's what we want to put on there. When you come here, it's going to be home types, right? Houses, apartments, condos, townhomes. I like to use just houses because that's like my favorite, because more beds, more heads, right? The more beds you can put into a property, the more heads you have, the more money you can charge, all right? So I'm going to use just houses. And then right here, you can put the dates and all of that stuff. And if they allow dogs and cats, you know, all the stuff you can do. Now, here's the secret right here. This is the secret. How many days on Zillow, right? I want to use things that have been on Zillow at least 6 months. This is, for me, has been the sweet spot, because something that has been sitting for a long time, the landlord becomes a little more desperate, and they're more than likely going to allow you to come in, because as long as the house is sitting empty, they're not making any money, okay? So I like to use things, the 6-month mark is a sweet spot. A year is great. You know, the longer, the better, right? Because if you use something for 1 day, that's 1 day with 7 days, it's still too new. There's no urgency there. There's no desperation there. So you have to give it a little more time being on Zillow. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to use 6 months, right? 6 months. Now, if you want to put any of this other stuff in there, you definitely can. Again, I'm just keeping it very surface level to make it easy to understand, all right? So now we're going to go apply, right? So now we're going to apply this. So you see right here, there are not many options in this little area. So it's going to be a little harder, but this is for an example. So cool, no problem, right? So as you can say, $1,499, so $1,500, $1,200, $1,500, $15, and $15. Now these are all going to fit our criteria, which is the 3-2, $1,500. Okay, so we're gonna go open it up. This is on the market for 39 days. This one's been on for 37. 7 days is not enough for me. 23, 35. Right. So right now, the one that I'm liking is this one right here. 29 days on the market. It's $1,250. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a little small at 921 square feet. But the good thing about that, the square footage for you, when it's time to furnish for your Airbnb, it's not a lot of space, so you don't have to buy a lot of furniture, right? So it just depends on your budget, depends on what you're able to do. So I'll keep those things in mind as you're going through this process, right? The bigger the square footage, the bigger the house, the more furniture you have to buy, all right? But you always want to go, like, if there's multiple bedrooms, have multiple bathrooms, right? A 2-2, a 3-2, a 4-3. making sure there's enough bathrooms for all the people that you're going to be putting in the property. All right. So we can come through, we can look at the pictures again. You know, this is what you see online. Okay. This is what you can see. So when you come down to it, you're going to be able to request a tour. Sometimes you're going to be able to get straight to the owner, right? So verified source is the McCall property manager. Their number is right here. You can just see the beds and the bath. You can see parking, home style. Now, if you are close to this property, I would want you to set up a tour. Set up a tour, walk the property, see the neighborhood, see what's around it, see if it's safe, see what parking's like. All this stuff is going to be important when it's time for you to get your Airbnb unit, because that's going to make or break your listing. If the neighborhood's not safe, if there's only street parking, if the grocery store is far away, if the houses are too close and then it's too noisy, all of that stuff you need to take into account when you're looking for these properties, okay? So now that we know that, we have all the details, we have all the information, we're going to either request a tour or we're gonna make the phone call to the landlord and the owner, and we're gonna let them know, hey, I'm an investor, right? I'm an investor, I'm a business owner, I deal in short-term rentals, right? We don't say Airbnb, we deal in short-term rentals. And I wanted to know, would you allow me to run my short-term rental business out of your property, okay? Right? The words are important. If you say, I do Airbnb, people will immediately get scared. They're nervous. They freak out because they've heard all the horror stories of Airbnb. They've heard only the bad, and they're afraid, okay? So I want you to say, I run a short-term rental business, and I'm interested in using your property. Are you interested? Okay. You don't have to lie. You don't have to do all this stuff. Just tell them the truth. It's either going to be yes or it's going to be no. At the end of the day, when you lead with the truth, it allows the person to make a decision, and it's going to allow you to run your business properly. Okay. Now, if they say, hey, I'm interested, but will you pay me an extra $200? Of course I will pay you, because this property is only $1,250. My budget was $1,500. I will pay them the extra $200, and I'm still under $1,500. So yeah, I'll pay you the extra $200. Some people might say, can you pay me first and last? Can you pay me first in deposit? You know, they'll ask you, what are you going to put in my property so that I can feel safe? I'll be putting cameras. I'll put an alarm system. I'll carry insurance, because Airbnb has insurance, right? You can tell them all the stuff that you're going to add to give them that sense of security. Most of these owners, they're just looking for security. They're scared, they're afraid, and they're thinking that you're going to let people in their home and they're going to trash their house. Okay, guys? So again, if you learned anything today, I want you to tap that like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to answer every single question. Leave them in the comments. And if you want to hop on the phone, I have a link in the description that you can do a discovery call. We can get on the phone. I can help you navigate through whatever it is that you're dealing with, and I'll be able to give you the answers that you might need. It's free. There's no obligation to buy anything. Just tap in, let me know. And again, guys, this is Airbnb Arbitrage, and I'll see you in the next video.